If you haven't taken your first boxing lesson yet and you want to, but you're anxious, you're self-conscious, you're worried that you're gonna look like a fool, or you're just overanalyzing and you wanna best prepare yourself, then this video is for you. This is especially for my people who is 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 and up that just started boxing later in life, or they have it on their mind, they want to start and they want to best prepare themselves. Well, I got the tips here for you because I started late in life. I'm 35 years old and I started this year. And so I'm going to give you the best tips that I can see from my perspective that's going to help you prepare for it before you go into your first class. So the very first tip is to buy yourself a jump rope. Everybody knows that boxers skip rope, that's their warm-up. Whether it's something that they do on their own before class or whether that's part of the class, you're gonna be skipping rope. Personally, me, I have a hard time skipping rope till this day. I've been practicing for about a year and it's just something that I'm not good at. And I'm gonna guarantee you that if you go into class and they have jump ropes that you can borrow, it's not going to be your right size. I've been researching a lot because I sucked at it so bad. I had to research a lot, and there is jump rope length depending on the size of your body. There's jump rope technique, but first and foremost, you have to get your own rope so that you can size it correctly. Me personally, I jump rope with this rope here. I think the jump rope was called Boxer 2.0 or 3.0. And I think it was from a company called Elite SRS. I'm gonna look it up and I'll leave a link below. But basically it's a 5mm PVC material. It has a little connection here that you can make it shorter or bigger or longer. And actually the way it turns is that this is at a 90-degree angle. So this spins around like this. So this one works really well, but it is not for a beginner because it took me a long time to learn how to use this. But because I kept on tripping over it, I had to get something that wasn't going to make me trip so much and I needed to learn on. So I also got this rope here. This is a beaded rope. This is something that you see little elementary kids use on a playground. And when in doubt, you got to go back to the basics, just like boxing. But this is a very good rope. It hardly ever tangles up. It has 1-inch beads and the material is plastic beads and it's a rope on the inside. But what happens is that the beads make it weigh a lot more. So then you have a lot more feedback when you're turning the rope around. So you can feel it going around. You have more control. It's a little bit slower. So it actually is very, very good for beginners. And you can also size it by taking out the beads. And I'm not going to go into sizing because there are a lot more people on YouTube that are pros and can explain it a lot better. But basically, if you step in the middle of the rope and you have the handles, it should, and you're standing up, right? I'm sitting down, but then the handles basically should be somewhere under your chest, down. I think the higher it is, it's easier for beginners, and the lower it is better for when you get better. Get a jump rope. They're only $20. Practice it. And the reason I say that is because you don't want to go into class and then get their lender rope. It's too big or too small. And then now you're just tripping. You're tripping over every other jump. You can't even get the jump rope down. And it's going to be annoying and frustrating. And then that's just a bad way to start the class. You're not going to have a good warm up. And you're going to be tripping over your feet. And you're going to go into class doing a warm-up looking like a fool at the very start, and that's not what you want to do. You don't have to become a pro at jump rope, but if you have your own jump rope and you practice it for a little bit, at least you're more likely to succeed. You don't have to be a pro. This is boxing class. No one's going to judge you of your jump rope, but just for your own good, getting into a rhythm and getting a good warm-up, that's basically a way that you want to start off the class with a good warm-up. Now, something else you can buy before you go into your first boxing lesson, and not that you can, but and you need to, is boxing wraps. These are boxing hand wraps. Everyone has them. You should technically be buying multiple pairs so you can get a fresh pair for each time before you wash them. Just get one and wrap your hands. Go on YouTube, learn how to wrap your hands, because as a beginner, it takes time to learn that, and you're going to be slow at first. And from the boxing gyms that I've been to, they don't give you any time to wrap your hands. It's almost like they expect you to have your hands wrapped when already when you go into the class. So you either have to go to class early and wrap your hands, or just do it at home and then get into class with your hands wrapped already. But as a beginner, it's going to take you a while to figure it out, because you have to wrap it tight enough that it supports your wrist and your hand so you can make a solid fist, but you don't want it too tight where it's cutting off your circulation. So it's a trial and error. It's still me. I'll wrap my hands and then I'll feel like it's off, so then I'll have to unwrap it and do it again. It takes me a long time. I wrap my hands in the house and then I'll head over to the gym, just so I could wrap it at the comfort of my own home and I can mess up all I want. So that being said, another thing that you can buy that I personally think that you should buy, but you don't have to just yet, is your own pair of boxing gloves. Now, going to the boxing gym for the first time, more than likely they're gonna have a pair of loaner gloves, because there's gonna be people that come and go that just want to try the class for one time to see if they like it, and they'll have a loaner glove for you to use. The problem with that is that there is too many people using that same glove, so that's kind of nasty. And the glove is probably a very cheap quality glove, since they are a loaner glove. It's probably worn out. It's probably not going to fit your hand right or feel right in your hands. And if that's going to be your very first boxing class and you're using the worst glove that money can buy, or that's like whatever, it's the leftover glove that probably smell, it's not going to give you a good experience and you'll probably never want to come back. But that's not what we want you to do. We want you to come back to keep on training. We don't want you to get discouraged, or I at least don't want you to get discouraged. I don't know who we is, but it's me. And so I do recommend that you buy your own pair of gloves. I just suggested to a friend who hasn't started yet, but he's planning on to, and he went to a shop that sells boxing gloves, and that's the best thing that you can do if you have a local shop that has boxing gloves to buy, so you can try it on. This thing is so important to do, because regardless of the reviews that you see online, it might have a 5-star review and you put it on your hand and you box with it, and it's gonna hurt your hand because you didn't try it on first and it just didn't feel right. So it's not really about the reviews, it's about the glove that fits your hand right and feels good to you. There are higher tier gloves that have better material, but if it's gonna be something that you are just starting out with, you don't have to go all out. My friend gave me a pair of these gloves. These are sparring gloves. So I didn't try them on and they were fine, but I've had some Hayabusas, I had some Rivals that I hit the bag with. I had the Hayabusas first and I really liked them. And then I got the Rivals, and the Rivals that I had, they didn't fit my hand right until I broke them in, and it took a long time to break in. But so it's just like something I recommend. As far as glove size and everything like that, 14 ounce is probably a good in between, but really it's really going to depend on you. So I would just suggest to do your research, buy your pair of gloves. It doesn't have to be high quality, but just get something that's reputable and that fits your hand right. Now, that being said, those are stuff that you can buy. Some stuff that you could do that's not really purchasing anything that I would recommend is basically, if you have time, try to get your cardio up, try to do some running, anything that gets your heart rate up. It depends on your physical level. If you're going into the gym and you're already fit, then you should be fine. But if you haven't done anything, if you're not even fit yet, and this is going to be part of your fitness routine, then definitely recommend trying to get your cardio up, at least jogging. Boxing is very cardio intense and it really drains your energy more than you would think it does. It's kind of weird. I went into the boxing gym with a calisthenics background. So workout wise, it wasn't hard at all. But by the time I got out and finished the class, I was just completely drained, because it's just like you're mentally learning and your cardio is getting exhausted at the same time. So it's on top of that, the shoulders will really burn you as far as a beginner. So those are the things that you should do. And speaking of shoulders burning out, now right before the class, I'm gonna highly recommend for all you older folk, do your own warm up. Don't go into that class thinking that they're gonna warm you up, even if they say, oh, we do a little warm up. I guarantee you that little warm up is probably for people who are in their teens or 20s and that they just really need a fast warm up. But the older you get, the more warm up you're gonna need, and your body's gonna thank you for it. So basically, the warm up I'm talking about is making sure all your joints have been rotated fully rotate your wrists. The wrist is going to take a lot of impact, a lot of beating, because you're going to be punching the bag, you're going to be punching mitts, and you're going to be in a glove. And if you haven't punched yet, it's going to be weird. Do all the wrist stretches like this. I'm going to make a video of the exact warm-up that I do, but basically just fast right now. Just do your wrists, your shoulders, joints, knees, elbows, neck. Just rotate them. Make sure you got blood flow through them, hips and ankles especially. So don't just rely on the classes warm-up, do your own and give yourself enough time. Plan out some time to do your warm-up, because this is very important. The better the warm-up, the better the boxing lesson is going to be, because all your energy technically should be focused on learning and not just trying to get through the workout. And so when your body is being exhausted, your mental cognition is gonna go down. The more exhaustion that you have, the mental cognition goes down. And that's really not the way it should be, because if you really want to learn, you should be mentally at your peak, but you have to be fit in order for that to be. So those are some tips. And a bonus tip that personally I do, I don't see many people do this, is when I bring water or a drink, I always have a straw, because when you're in your boxing gloves, here's a Starbucks coffee with a straw, right? So you're gonna see that you might be transitioning from doing a warm-up to doing some bag work, and coach will say, hey, get a drink of water. But get a drink of water lasts for 30 seconds, and it's so hard to take your gloves off, get a drink, put your gloves on, and then get back ready to go. So with the straw, you don't have to really take your gloves off. You can just literally have this sitting down somewhere and then take a little sip. This saved me so much time. I didn't have to rush, stress out, or anything like that. It sounds a little bit silly, but people from my gym, after they seen me do that, then they started getting those bottles with the built-in straw, and they were doing the same exact thing. Me, I just like to make everything as convenient as possible, just because I want to focus on learning. I don't want to be the last one getting my gloves back on and then missing the instruction. When you're in there, I guarantee you, as an older boxer, as an older person, they're just gonna probably think of you as, oh, he's just here to get fit. And you might be only in there to get fit, but I guarantee you, the reason that you want to go into a boxing gym to get fit is because you actually want to learn to box. If you wanted to get fit, you could go to any type of fitness class, but the reason why you're choosing boxing is because you actually want to learn how to box. You want to learn a skill as you're getting fit. And that being said, going in as an older boxer, you are not going to be looked at as a prime prospect. You're being looked at as a person in the class, an additional person, and that's it. So don't expect really much attention. You're really gonna have to figure these things out on your own. This is not meant to discourage you. This is actually meant to give you an understanding of anything that you need or want. You need to be very vocal about it. Go to the coach before class, say, hey, I have an injury on my right shoulder, so I can't do a specific movement. Be very communicative. After class, tell them what you want to work on, what you want to learn. They're not gonna be sitting there watching you the whole time, because they're running a class. They're probably watching. They're dividing their attention equally amongst all the students that's in there. So if you have something that you need to tell the coach, most places they're going to be cool about it. It's nothing to be afraid of. You have an injury in your right shoulder, I'm not going to make you do hooks. I'm not going to make you do whatever. You have an injury here, you can't do a certain movement. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Every athlete, even professional athletes, gets injured. So you don't have to go in there feeling self-conscious or feeling like, oh, you're anything less than everybody else just because you have something or you just can't keep up. Once you're going in as your first class, everyone knows that it's your first class. They're not going to be hating on you. They're going to be supporting you. And if, you know, at the bare minimum, they're not going to put you down. They're going to understand, and they should understand, that it's your first class and you're still learning, and it takes time, because nobody goes in a class and is a professional right off the bat. I do admire each and every one of you that is thinking about going to their boxing class and is taking their next steps and watching this video on how to prepare. If I think of anything else, I will make another video about it. That's all I can think of right now. If anybody else has any tips on how to prepare before going into their boxing class, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear this. I would love to engage in a conversation about that. because I'm learning still too, and I'm gonna keep on making videos of what I'm learning, and I'm gonna share it with you all, and we're gonna all learn together. That being said, if you like this video, like and subscribe and comment below. Appreciate you guys. Peace.